This is SoulCharge, the podcast for women leaders to take the highest level of ownership of their power to create results now. I'm your host, Stacy B. Let's dive in. Today's episode is a juicy one, and buckle up because we are going to deep dive into some topics that might make you feel a little uncomfortable, but I promise you it is going to leave you changed. So let's dive in. Women especially have a deep-rooted belief that our value is in what we do. Our value is in what we can contribute, what we can provide, how much we work, how much we get done in a day, how many balls we are juggling in the air at all times. And this is your eviction notice to that limitation. This is your notice that that pattern dies with you listening to this episode today, because your value does not equal what you do. Your value does not equal the time you put into something. Your value does not equal what the market tells you is market value. Your value is not tied to anything. Your value is truly exponential. It is not tied to how many dials, how many calls, how many clients, how much money. Your value is not limited by these things. Your value, in my opinion, is that you are a child of God, and you are favored. You are valuable no matter what you do in a day, just for who you be. And value in the marketplace, especially for women, has been misdiagnosed, it's been misinterpreted, and it's truly been this adaptive approach versus creating what's true and defining our value. And so I'm going to talk about value and a story from my journey as it relates to value, like in the marketplace. But I really wanted to start this episode separating out your attachments to value. So we get wrapped up in our value comes from our children, our value comes from our spouse, our value comes from the ways in which we are validated, because at the end of the day, women, we have not been taught how to choose ourselves first. We have not been taught that value is in the eye of the beholder, and you forgot that you were the beholding one. You were the one that was holding yourself and being your safe space. The value has always been perceived outside of ourselves. And so what that's done is it's taught us that our value is in the contribution, right? In the external, in what we're doing. And a lot of times, if a client hires you, you're, let's say, contracted, or you agree to deliver goods or services for a contracted rate. A lot of times you might find yourself going above and beyond because you want to go above and beyond. We've been taught that great customer service is going above and beyond, right? It's taking that call at 9 p.m. It's making it happen. I mean, that was my entire real estate career, right? Was making it happen, and, early bird gets the worm, all of these things that we've been taught. And let's be very clear, like, the doing element is all very needed, but the feminine piece, the woman's piece, the woman's power has been forgotten in the process, right? It's like you do, and then you're just like completely forgetting your value. And I think more so for us as women, It's even that we have to prove to you that we are worthy because the conditioning says, I have to earn your respect. I have to earn the money. I have to burn myself out. I have to do for you to understand the immense value that I bring. And I want to shake that up with you today, especially as it relates to being in the marketplace, because your value is not in time. It's not in effort. The value is you. It is your unique approach. It is the concoction, whether it's a framework or how you think. If you're in the consulting or entrepreneur space, your value is the pieces and parts that make up you, whether it's a transformation you're providing, whether it is an experience, whether it is making something beautiful, whether it is, creating a business. I have a client that's coming to mind as I talk, and, one of the things that she's incredible at is design. She's just incredible at seeing space and placing furniture and, laying out the wallpaper and all of this. She's incredible at space design. There isn't another person that brings the quality and the reverence and the beauty in the way that she does. There's not another design center that you will walk into that is curated in the way that she is curating that. That is her value then in the marketplace. I'm just going to use this example, is however she decides to package that up, right? If she decides to do interior design or staging or whatever, the way in which she does that, she can't go and shop what the market is currently charging for those things. It wouldn't be congruent because she's literally doing it in the way that only she can do. So for me to go out and say, okay, if I'm selling carrots, what are the grocery stores in the west side selling the carrots at? What's the north side carrot, right? And I'm like placing and like price shopping to put my value price tag on my carrots. That's not how you work. Your value and how you value things is different than the way I value, or the client example that I gave you with the design. Why this matters so much is because I want you to stop associating your value with what you're doing and what you're contributing from the sense of how you perceive your worth. Because if we continue to put that outside of ourselves, we will continue to flop in pricing, in creating engagements with clients. We will always undercharge. We will always overdeliver. We will always give more than the container was constructed because we're coming from this place of let me show you, let me prove to you. And I want to invite you to put that down, because when you stop doing that, here's what changes. If you have nothing to prove and you just get to provide, you just get to change, you just get to be a change agent and transform a situation. Transformation is not just in coaching or entrepreneurship. Transformation is transforming a space in the design center. Example. Another client of mine, a dentist, transforming teeth, braces, veneers, whatever it is, right? It's like your value is in your unique ability to transform an experience, a state, provide a service that makes someone's life easier, provide a service that changes a way an industry markets on a certain topic. It's all like transformation. And if we can disconnect our value with the transformation we're providing, we can start to look at what it is that we're providing from a very practical way, right? We can start to look at it like, instead of, I'm going to provide this client with this bid or this proposal. I hope they like it. If they give me any resistance, oh, I'll take the price down. And if they give me any more resistance, I'll take the price down with that. And it can just be such a slippery slope where if you can instead say, what I'm providing is this solution that's outside of me. My value is not tied to what I do. It's not tied to what I say. In fact, it's truly tied to my heart. My value is tied to what I think of myself, how proud I am of myself, how much am I loving myself without without doing anything for anyone. Can I arrive at this place of self-love, self-appreciation without tying what I do to that value? And here's the thing is this is a big ball of yarn, right? Unwinding this is not just a today conversation. It's probably something you've experienced your entire life, that your worth, your value, how you perceive yourself is based on your achievements, is based on what you're proving, is based on what results you're providing. And we have to first bring our attention and awareness to the truth, which is that's something we all have done forever. I mean, my mantra in real estate was, if I take care of others, I will always be taken care of. Talk about a wound up ball of yarn in and of itself, right? What I'm saying is that my value and worth in the marketplace is I'm going to take care of other people, and then I'm always taken care of. While that can seem like it's coming from a really good place, that ties me in deeply to sacrificing my worth to help other people. And we are entering into a new time where we don't have to suffer so that you can get ahead. We both can win. Collectively, we are entering into a new age where you don't have to lose so that I can win. There is a place for all of us. There is a place where my value isn't tied to what I'm doing for you. And if something does go wrong and there's a negative experience, it's not personal to either one of us. If we are whole and complete and wonderful and worthy in ourselves, what we bring to the engagements and to the table for our clients, the marketplace, is so important and powerful. And we no longer have to cut others to rise, right? We can all rise together. So I want to give you an example of value as I see it. Maybe you are rolling something new out. Maybe you're, starting a venture. But so often I see my women clients and women at large underprice. And I am so passionate about this topic because, one, I know your value. I know my value. And money is not validating our value. Money, as it's associated with your products, is literally about how fast are you getting me to where I want to go with as little pain as possible and as succinct as possible. It's very time-based, right? It's very much like in the luxury market, how quick can I go? And is this going to last? And is it immersive? And so that's where I really resonate with value in the marketplace, is like, how are you making people's lives easier? And when you make people's lives easier, they want to pay you and pay you handsomely for it. It has nothing to do with how valuable you are. In fact, when you link it to your value, I think that's where we go wrong, because it's like, okay, how much experience do I have? Well, that's matters for something. And we start to size up our value by how many degrees or certifications or what the market will bear. And all of a sudden, like your inspiration on the topic is gone because you have measured the value by how you can prove yourself versus the concoction that is you, that you literally transform people by being you and the way that you look at the world. So when I decided to leave real estate and start what I'm doing now, one of the things that I did was I had created a dream contract. And at the time, it was I want to work with women leaders at an investment level of it was 120K and for a year. And it was a series of coaching calls and a retreat. And at the time, there was a group of women that I knew needed this work and they needed it badly. I knew they were ideal clients and I had created this dream contract and in just my Google Drive. And when I went to those women, I actually reduced it in half. I was like, I justified it. I was like, I'd be fine. And I kind of calculated like, okay, I would need this many, more women at this point. And so I went to that group of women. I told them what I was doing and I told them the contract price, all of that. And it was crickets. I didn't get any engagement and none of them expressed interest. And, I walked away going like, oh, shoot, I was excited about what this could be and everything. And I went back and I was like, oh my gosh, Stacy, that's what went wrong is you went into justifying your value, right? You lowered the price because it was starting a new thing and then went, you know what? I'll raise the price after I get going down the road. And listen, I want to be clear. That may be true for you. The point in this is you need to do what's true for you. For me, what was true is I wanted what I wanted, and I don't like to ramp up to things. I like to go 0 or 100. Those are my two speeds, and I like to go out of the gates swinging, right? So it's like I wanted to charge that rate. I wanted to be fully booked. That's what I truly wanted. And when I went and I self-betrayed, I didn't, and like energetically, no one wanted to necessarily work with that, right? People can feel when you're compromising. And so I went back, I realized what I had done with myself, and I had a little pep talk. And I said, you know what? I'm not doing this. This is what I want. This is how I'm moving forward. And I decided to do that. And I went back to the same women. And do you know, all but one ended up signing up as clients. Why? Because I was being all of myself. Who I am as a person is someone that is unapologetic. There is a bigness about me, both spiritually, physically, emotionally, energetically, that when I self-compromise, my light dims. And people can feel it. People can feel when I am all in on something. It's so magnetic for them. Here's the thing. I am mirroring to them what they want to wake up in themselves. That's what the whole journey is with SoulCharge. I want to share how I have been SoulCharged with the women of the world so that they can swing for the fences on their vision too. That's what I'm known for. What I love in my life is always going for it. The stories I've shared with you on previous episodes is about not having the steps, but going for it and believing when you can't see how it's going to happen. And so when I think back to that time where I had self-compromised and then adjusted, and then funny enough, all the women became clients, what stands out to me is I didn't go around price shopping what other coaches were doing, what other, programs in the market were doing. I knew that I wanted to help a very specific woman, and that woman was me, right? A version of myself. The women that are so successful, but they feel empty inside. The women that feel so successful, but are doubting their next move. The women, that I just recognized and I knew I could help. My approach is something they're willing to invest in because they don't have a lot of time. They want answers now. They want to talk about the root and pull the root of that weed out of the garden so they don't ever have to look at it again. They want something that is lasting. And that is who I am, right? It's like when you work with me, fast results, we're going to transform. It's going to be lasting because I don't want to give you a Band-Aid. I don't want a Band-Aid. I want your experience with me and what I provide to you to be transformational and lasting, and you to be empowered to use the tools going forward. I don't want there to be dependencies. The coaching industry is full of coaches that, never want you to leave, and that's not what I want. And so all of that comes back to, if you look at my story closely, you'll see that I never looked at the value as something that I do. It's how I lead. It's who I am. It is the feelings that I evoke in my clients. It is the truth that I call out. It is what I stand for. And that isn't about proving myself to people. It's who I am. And I want you to be who you are and know that whatever you want to get paid for doing that, if you're in the marketplace and you're turning whatever you've created into an offering, or, whatever transformation that's you're doing, you don't have to shop the market, but here's what you have to do. You have to be aligned with what you're doing. You have to believe in it. You can't be apologetic about it. And if you are being apologetic, that's why it's stuck. That's why maybe your offers aren't selling. That's why things are not moving at the speed they need to, because at some level you are justifying, you are compromising, you are apologizing for how big you want to play. And I promise you, if you decide to stop playing that game, stop comparing yourself to other people, and really connect to what it is that you're so passionate about transforming in people, if you really connect to what it is that you're so excited to bring to the market, or what it is that you're, excited to innovate, or whatever it is that you're excited about, if you stop apologizing for that and instead start asking, what would be the investment that I would feel so excited someone made to work with me? What would I do every day that would just light me up? Because here's the thing. We need you as a woman to be fully lit up. We need you to be fully expressed, because when one woman is fully expressed, when one woman is fully lit up, we share that, and we literally inspire our other females to do the same. And those women are mothers, and those mothers have children. Those children are seeing their role models be in their power. And guess what? That is teaching future generations to be empowered versus apologizing for their light. And that is the new day. That is where we're going. That is what this is all about, is to be so fully in our light that our shine is teaching our kids, teaching our employees, who we lead, our clients, what it looks like to be fully empowered, fully turned on, fully lit up. That is how we usher humanity to its next level. That's how we improve industries. That's how we change the game. And that is not about what you do. It is about who you be. It is about who you are. That's what the world values the most. We are just waiting for you to value it as much as we value it in you. Are you loving SoulCharge? If so, hit the subscribe button, leave a review, and share an episode. We want to bring powerful content to women leaders each week so that women can be unleashed to create the results that they want now. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.